Good morning. Morning. These are my headphones. Okay, I hear no. I think I hear all. You're good. Well, you hear me good, right? Good morning, friends. So I think it's this thing here. I want to. I really don't want to touch nothing.
Everybody hush. Okay, come through. Come hush.
Oh, yeah.
Can I echo?
I get no feedback.
That's from tests.
It's Thursday. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. Oh, David Alcock used to open the show. All right.
It's Elcock in the morning.
David Alcock in the morning. Classic.
Showing your age.
Mr. Young will be here in 5 minutes, he said. Right.
5 minutes. Yeah.
5 minutes. 6 minutes, Doggy Fresh.
We have 5 minutes to talk about these crazy people that was up on the Empire State
Building
yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Now I see all kind of great memes and things on the flag.
Yeah.
Like I seen a good one. Saturday, July 18th.
Show the live now, repost the live and share it over.
Me, I did, didn't I?
I feel it's the girl pay him up to that.
Nah.
I feel it's the girl that pay him up to that.
To propose?
No. Just come now, let me go now. Boy, you strip it on.
What if the girl said,
let me go.
What if the girl said, hey, I'm gonna marry you, but you have to propose to me on the Empire State Building? Let me see if you're really serious.
Yeah. You know what my friend say? My friend say.
He had shaking if that was the case.
You know them girls come. You know what my friend say? My friend say you are serious about life. Your head and your head according to KK, your head shaking. If you need man, you either go big or go home.
But what I want to know if she was good and say no. We went up the Empire State Building. I propose. You can't tell me no.
Well, you learn the R. Kelly way into that morning.
You're gonna tell me no. You have to be
how bad the charges can be, really?
What they got?
Yeah, is that a misdemeanor? Is that a
probably misdemeanor. Probably get a trespass charge, reckless endangerment.
I hear they are accustomed doing them crazy thing.
Oh, that makes a difference.
I was told that they are accustomed doing.
Yeah,
I was told they are accustomed doing those crazy
things. They go all over. They're on Netflix. They're all over the world doing these bad things.
Oh.
So it's nothing new to them.
Well. This is Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to something like that. You'll never be Johnny Knoxville, boy.
Want to notice
You feel anybody could pull that off up here? I mean, I can't see you getting to the top of Central Bank Towers. It's a real machine out there. It's a real machine will lick you up before you reach up
I
there.
afraid heights, so me ain't doing that.
What machine?
Gone.
Morning, Sailor Maid.
Morning, Taylor Made.
How good is that?
Good
How
morning.
good is that? How good is the security up there? Seriously.
Real good. When I talk about elite, Central Bank Police, partner, and the weaponry, oh my word.
Yes, but you still need a level of alertness. The machine don't mean nothing if the person not on their job, if they're not,
And that's what I'm saying. That's the Treasury building. But
you think you don't have machine? You think you don't have machine in the Empire State Building?
Well, I don't know, but it's not fortified like a bank. I doubt it's fortified like a bank. It might be a federal building here, but I don't know. Maybe that's the best thing to say. I already don't know. But I can tell you about our central bank. Them fellas and them serious.
Where's the highest building? That's the highest building in Trinidad and Tobago?
Not highest building, but it is the central bank towers. You were saying.
Was it more than Taylor Made, more than Otis? Wait, let me see. Was the tallest building in Trinidad?
Tallest building in Trinidad? It might just be central bank still. Yeah. I don't think Hyatt. Maybe Hyatt? Oh no! Come down there from the island.
Wait, they're saying is that Nicholas
Tower?
Towers up they're saying Nicholas Tower.
Nicholas Towers. All right. See.
That was my first guess, sir. That was actually my first guess.
That was my second guess.
394 feet. That is small thing to these people.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. They had their ways.
Imagine a couple, Saki Winky and Suki Buri. They say they're going to the top of, meet me on the top of.
Listen, and they have such a thing as privilege. When you see a person of a certain hue just walking confidently and say, I gotta go up there. We're going and do some work up there. You as in your security capacity, sleepy, with your machine in your hand, you just go and say, yeah, go ahead now.
Go see.
10 minutes later.
A bucket?
10 minutes later.
Yeah, a bucket and a squeegee with you. You had the right costume and accessories.
Exactly.
All right.
I'm not gonna second guess you.
So back to the main question. How them reach up there? And you dress up in black like a ninja too.
That's what I'm saying.
You dress up in black like a ninja.
You could gain. You trying to tell me you could gain you could get on the spire, not just getting up on the spire, the very tippy top of the Empire State Building. You ain't gonna gain Nicholas Tower. Give me a break.
I can't even gain my own house sometimes.
Give me a break. Let's do it all the time. That's in.
Oh, that's when I want to
the point where they don't even televise that no more. They don't even televise something no more. Like another one. Another one. What I mean? Another one. Yeah. They don't even televise something no more. They are sort of unnecessary traffic. They still do it. Adrenaline junkies. A lot of AC. And
Good morning, everybody.
Good
Very
morning.
exciting.
Look who, stranger, yes. Wait, who is this? New person, yes. Fun side boy. Wait,
Everybody just passing through.
wait, that's not it. That's passing through.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Serious?
I hope everybody's doing good.
So you mean we ain't gonna get to do this today?
Size, do better.
We ain't gonna get to do that today?
Unfortunately, no.
For the World Cup, in the spirit of the World Cup. Fun size, you know what? You know what, fun size.
You gave me a do better just for that.
I ain't gay, I do it just, you know, for old time's sake. Now we ain't seen it in so long that, you know. I get happy. I thought we was going to have a nice World Cup moment.
Good morning, Mr.
All right,
Young.
Mr. Young is here.
Okay, everybody, enjoy your day. Welcome to the guests.
All right, Miss Fun Size. Go on, she gone. You know, she says she passing through. All right, Kerby going up in the hot seat one time. No sticking.
Mr. Young.
One time, morning,
Right.
sir.
Good morning.
So-
That is a close-up. Hold on.
Team Pool,
We gotta
Udo Brizo.
give Kerby a good introduction. I'll get big Sensi go do this introduction.
So,
While I
so folks,
control the
what are you going to do today?
no, while I
Fireworks?
control
No
the
fireworks, uh-huh.
we get fireworks. There we go.
Guys, allow me to introduce our special guest this morning, Mr. Kerby Young, designer, entrepreneur, choreographer, many other things, and I'm sure Kerby would shed light on the things that he wants us to know about. He really is. I call him the man for all seasons when I really think about it. And thank goodness for a chance encounter on a flight back from Guyana, and this man is sitting next to this man is sitting next to me. And it was a natural conversation, a natural flow, you know. He seems wise in his ways. And, you know, he looked down at me, shaking, and he said, do better, big. I'll do better. And maybe we'll get a moment or two like that this morning. Kerby Young, thank you for joining us here on President Racing Morning Show. Welcome, my friend.
Welcome.
What's your location this morning?
I am at my studio. That's why it took a while to get here because, you know, some people don't really know how to drive. They just have the license. So,
Oh, yeah.
He intro that.
You talking?
Basically, he
You
intro
talking
that.
Trinidad or
He
Guyana?
intro that. No, he intro that.
yes,
You stop.
You know what he said? He said
Oh,
people know how to they don't know how to drive, they just had it like
Oh.
Trinidad.
you wouldn't say that about your homeland, though.
I never
Sorry.
know
You're the land of your birth.
people who were driving this morning.
All right. I come back to you on that.
Big up the guy,
My
he's
brother-
massive this morning. Well, they're rolling.
And guys, please help us share the live, share the discourse. Kerby, where were you born? Be as precise as you possibly can. Where were you born, and how would you describe your formative years? Those years that your early teens and that kind of thing. What was that like?
So I was born in Guyana, Kerby to be exact.
Berbice, right?
I believe my mother at the time was living in Kanji. But-
Right, okay.
My upbringing was in Georgetown. So we moved to Georgetown when I was a baby, I believe. And lived in Albertown. That's where I went to St. Gabriel's Primary School.
Right.
Then I went on to East Rhymeville Secondary. Then we moved to South. And the last place I lived in Guyana would have been on the East Bank. My upbringing, I came up in a single parent home. My mom being the single parent. And just like any single parent home, there were struggles. You had to put water in the milk tin, shake it up, and the milk finish, and make it tea. But I believe even in those what we would call tough times, I think those were times where my character was molded and shaped because you started to appreciate the little things, because it's the little things what you had that you made into something, huge. So yes, in terms of education, I studied civil engineering.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yes, I did at GTI. But my passion and my dream was always in creating things and fashion. When my sister entered a pageant by the name of Guyana Talented Teen, that's when I was fully introduced into fashion. That's where I got to showcase my first, let's call it a collection, if you want to say that. And it really opened my mind to the possibilities of fashion, and that's where KYD started.
Right.
Right.
No, let me just stick up in there for a second. Hearing a little kind of squeak. I don't know if somebody's microphone is
No.
rubbing
It's
on
not
something.
nobody microphone. It's it might be volume. Let me see. Just
Okay, that's all right. That's all
it
right.
might just be volume. It might be just a volume problem.
So,
Yeah. If I may,
go ahead.
so you come from very humble beginnings, right?
Yep, very
And
humble.
even before that pageant that your sister entered, you would have to have some kind of interest in, if it's clothing, you like you're creative. Like where did, like when you can tell, when can you remember the earliest, like your earliest creative,
Endeavor.
I think that would have been some time in primary school when we were introduced to craft being a
Right,
topic.
yeah.
And as I said, home I had to take things and make it into something,
Into
like
something.
imagination, basically.
Oh,
I would take this paper and say, this is the king, this is the man with the sword, and things like that that children used to do before.
yes,
And that's my imagination and making things seem as, this is what it could be.
yes.
Especially in your own private time as a child, where you feel own feelings because your friends may have something and you may not. So that is you just building up yourself and stuff like that and not feeling depressed.
Yeah.
So that's where it started. A vocational Bible school at church. I'm always there with the tie dyeing or the craft, anything that has to deal with creativity. I was basically there for that. So I think it's when I was introduced to craft as a subject in school, that's when the spark went up. And yeah.
How did your mother and your sister and the rest of the family react to this emerging passion in you?
So we're speaking about in the 90s. Right?
Yeah.
In the 90s, you being a fashion designer or anything that is not deemed a masculine role was the gateway drug to you becoming a homosexual or a girl or whatever it is they want.
Yeah.
So as much as the passion was there, the creativity was there, it wasn't anything that, it wasn't supported like that. Not that they were like, no, you can't do that or anything like that, but it's like, okay, we see it, we appreciate it. However, this is where we think you should go. But when I had my first job and I purchased my first piece of fabric, that didn't matter to me because it was a burning desire that I had and that I have to get it out. And I know creatives understand what I'm saying when there's something that's deep inside when you feel like this has to come out. Like it has you uncomfortable. It has you dreaming. It has you like just, it has to come out.
I believe that's passion.
My piece of fabric, that was it. And I had to be, for a very long time, this was up until I met my wife, had to be like my own cheerleader saying, listen, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, you could do
Yeah,
this.
right.
But now, because I would have proven to my family that, you know, this is something that is sustainable, this is something that I can do, this is a business, this is not just a hobby or something that
Right.
they're like number one supporters. Every time I go to an international show or anything, even if I do what people may say, just a little tea party or a little backyard thing, as they would want to call it,
Right.
they're always there supporting me. So now because everything is coming to a realization, full support, 100%.
Because
Before they were supporting, yes, but he said this work out for him type of a thing.
so what did you do with that first piece of fabric? Just out of curiosity, like what did what came out of that?
So those days I couldn't sew at all.
Oh,
So it would be me just cutting out what we would call like a bias cut, and I made a skirt. So it
okay.
was just cut the waist out, and it was just
Just like a funnel, like a cylinder.
as simple as that is, or that may sound.
Uh-huh.
That was that push, that motivation that I need. Because remember, I don't know how to sew,
So right.
anything like that. So me cutting that and seeing that, hey, this is possible.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that was the push.
Love it,
Yes.
love it, love it.
So you mentioned not having formal training up to that point. Were you ever introduced to that formal training the way like UTT has Fashion Institute and you know in the States you have MIT, well not MIT, Fashion Institute across there as well. Any formal training or you're self-taught?
The only class that I took was a class to learn how to make shirt, a waistcoat, and pants.
Oh,
By
right.
a tailor, not an institution, but like a private tutor.
Right,
Exactly.
right, right. And you mentioned international. So give us now, please, a perspective as to what does Kerby Young mean when you say international? Where has your
Yeah.
your passion? Yeah.
But before you even get that, sorry, how did it go from now? And I'm saying this because when we do these type of interviews, it is my dream is to inspire somebody in the comments or even in the panel because it's kind of inspirational. A lot of ways saying it resonates with me because I just not international yet. But I want to because somebody may be going through some of these steps that you detail and they just don't understand that okay, there's this part of the journey. So how do you go from? So how does it go from that first skirt you don't know how to sew to now you're an international designer? Like when did it get to the point where people start to really notice? Like, nah, boy, he has something. What was that moment?
So first off, I would start off by saying everyone on earth around us has a purpose and there's a reason why you are here. I can remember in my younger days in Guyana, I would go to the seawalls, what we call the seawall, because we're below sea level, we have this wall on the coast.
Wow.
Right. I would go at the seawalls, go close to the water, sit on a brick like a mermaid, and just look out into the vast nothingness, just sky and sea, and feel like I'm supposed to be there. I don't know what there is, but I just felt that need, that something is there. And I'm talking to you about a period where there wasn't any internet. So it's not a case whereby I am seeing someone's photos from overseas or anything like that. I mean, the only thing you used to get from overseas is when your family overseas and they take a photo in front of these red brick walls because that's the American look, right?
Right.
Only but I felt like I'm supposed to be out there.
Right.
So doing what? Don't know why, but I just felt that calling as I was by the water. And So I left Guyana. I came to Trinidad and Tobago off of just coming to, because I had a friend who moved here and he was getting a nice job and stuff like that and making money. So initially I came to just get a job and start to see what can happen. God placed everywhere that I went, he just keep putting persons that I have to come in contact with. Introduced me to the performing and creative arts like theater. When I met Tristan Wallace, this was along my first job, like probably 2 months in. And him. So that got me into theater here in Trinidad and Tobago from that simple conversation. Then I was like, I don't want to live in anybody's country illegal. How do I get to stay here? The next week, I bounce a friend up. His name is Sherrod Duncan. Sherrod tells me there is something that is called CSME. It gives Caribbean nationals the ability to move and to work and to do what it is you have to do. So, like, okay, I applied for that. I got it. My other colleagues who applied for it didn't get it. No, they had their degrees, they had their things in black and white. What I had was just newspaper clippings, references. This person said, oh yes, he did a dress for me, he did that, so that I could actually get in. So I'm trying to show you, they had everything in the sight of society, and I had little to nothing. But that was enough to get me to where I had to be. So fine, great. The boy could live now legally in Trinidad and Tobago. What does this mean for him? This means now that he has to establish himself, because I have no family here. I have to basically create who Kerby Young is. I could become a whole different person now than who I was in Guyana. Or I could just introduce them to the Guyanese who now lives here, which I did. I'm not changing for anybody. So along my journey, I would have met a few designers who showed me things here and there, who would critique. I was privileged enough to have someone who is from the Baruch standards. She would have come and look at my clothing and say, well, you know, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do, and stuff like that. And all these things just keep aligning. In my earlier years, I met someone by the name of Natifa Romero. She is now the CEO, the head, I don't know what is the position, but she's the top dog at the Modeling Association of Trinidad and Tobago. We maintained that relationship, and that's what created the spark for me to go internationally at Swahili Fashion Week, being the first Caribbean designer to showcase at Swahili Fashion Week.
Really? What? You see that? I want you all to listen to this. You all might be going through this right now, and you know, you're not really understanding what you're going through. It's a journey, right? How you all understand it, right? Thank you for that. You could go and Sensi.
So maybe now you can tell us a little bit about your experience at Fashion Week, and maybe some of the other places that your passion has taken you to.
Okay, so when I went to Swahili Fashion Week, first off, to get there, the financial part of it was like a storm. It was crazy. Probably up until the day that I actually paid for my ticket, then I felt like, okay, this is going to happen.
Right.
But all the preparations that I made did not necessarily prepare me for when I got to Swahili Fashion Week in Tanzania. Because when I got there, I was like, hey, these people don't speak English. These people speak Swahili. Do you speak Swahili? No, you don't. Do you understand anything in Swahili? Hi, hello, good afternoon, good night. How you doing? How them children? No.
Yeah.
I keep telling people what Swahili fashion. One of the first things it taught me is how to be silent. Because I can't speak the language. I have to be silent. So I get there to Swahili Fashion Week. It is the most organized fashion show that I have ever done. From the time you get there to the time your clothing walks the stage, you are being taken care of. You have someone who handles everything for you. You just have to liaise with that person. Like, hey, Al, you ask Al the question, Al knows the answer. Everything was just professional. So first they taught me silence. Second thing they taught me about professionalism. Because it was an international fashion show, it also allowed me to rub shoulders and have conversations with other designers from other countries. And basically us having like a little powwow as to, so what do you do? How do you market your stuff? How do you get business? What about international clients? How do you deal with that? So it was not just me going to a fashion show. It was me going to like a fashion convention or an event where you get to mingle, you meet international, everybody that you meet is international basically. So they give you a different perspective as to how things are done in their country, which gives you a better understanding. If you want to go international, you want your business, your brand, or whatever, it gives you that understanding as to what you need to do. So it did that. But the thing for me that was really good, and I tell people about a lot, is that every single day I was overwhelmed with emotion. Overwhelmed with emotion of where I started in Guyana to where I am now. And the level of respect and love and gratitude that I received in Tanzania, I have never. Come on, Al. I have never received that anywhere that I've ever been, because it felt like I was like home, like this is where I need to be. It was, I don't think words could ever explain it, ever. Even when I think about it, my pores just raise. It's, Africa has a different feeling. It's, and the people of Tanzania are so loving, so everything. So those were some of the things that I got from that experience there in Tanzania.
Lovely. And I heard, I think Alonzo, I heard mention that they say Africa have a different feeling. Something about when you go to, Sharon too. When you go to Africa, it's a different kind of.
Yeah, it's a different feeling. Like you feel like you're at home. I can't explain it.
Yeah, I know there's some there because I heard it so many times. It's like I have to experience this one day. One day, don't worry.
Some of the other places that I've been would have been Australia. I was in Australia twice. I may go again next year because it seems like I go every other year to be part of dance school's dance presentation that they have every year. The dance teacher's name is Ellie, and the studio's Dance Unlimited. So when I go there, I would teach them Caribbean style dance, and also get to showcase my fashion and everything.
Right.
So that was cool. And the other place would be Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Nice.
Yes. And Guyana as well.
How was it like presenting like, back in Guyana, in your hometown? What was that? What was that like?
It was surreal. It was a very good experience. I would have done that last year. They started they started an event. The name of it is Origins, which they would use to promote creatives in the fashion and modeling industry of Guyana. They started it last year and they have it again this year. It is actually this weekend, or I think it starts from today until, it's 3 days. I can't remember the days. I know this weekend is So when I received the call, this would have happened after I would have done Swahili Fashion Week. So when I received the call to be a part of that, it felt good. It felt like, hey,
Well,
you
it has to
really
feel good.
established yourself. Okay, you're being invited now as one of the international designers, or they say the designers of the diaspora.
Right.
All right. It felt good to go back. It felt really good to see that the fashion industry in Guyana is booming. It is becoming a I'm excited to see what they showcase this year at Origins.
Yeah.
But being there was a very good experience. Apart from my family, some of my friends from school came, and it was just
Nice.
like a final celebration with my Guyanese public of
Did it?
what happened in Africa.
Did anybody hit you with the? But Kerby, I never know you were so good, boy. You never hit you with that, something like that.
Yeah, well, some people not that I was ever so good, but like that this would have become something
So
sustainable and like established and internationally known. You know,
yeah.
because as I said, in those years in the 90s and stuff like that, being a fashion designer wasn't one of the things that you ever put in what I want to be in school.
Right.
Yeah. So it's nice that that is what it is now. It's good.
You kind of touched on it earlier. When you come to something like being like a fashion designer, it does come with a certain, I don't want to say stigma, because I don't think it's like a negative thing. It's just it's just kind of synonymous with a certain certain lifestyles and stuff like that. How do you navigate through that now? And big up wifey, by the way. You almost get in trouble the time when you was on the live, you're on a date and you're here talking to we wifey. It was not our fault. Big up wifey this morning. How do you navigate, because it's kind of dominated by alternate lifestyle, people living alternate lifestyles. How does that, is there kind of, do they look at you differently, or do they embrace you?
So even before I started to do fashion, I was think of very skinny boy. My mouth has never been one that has a cover, and I'll could tell you about that. I will tell you exactly how I feel and stuff like that. Very outspoken, just loud and skinny and bony. And then you're finding yourself that you like pageantry and stuff like that or whatever. So I was dealing with that from since childhood. Presently, those things don't bother me because as I grew older, I realized that it is two completely separate things. One's sexual orientation or what they choose to do with their body has nothing to do with the craft
creativity, yeah.
and my creativity. So don't see me for if I am this or if I am moving feminine or masculine or whatever the case is. See me for my work. Let's have that discussion. You don't want to discuss my work. You want to discuss my sexual orientation.
Right.
Understand?
And
So
the reason
that's
I asked that,
I just remove it from the whole thing.
yeah,
And that is it. And the thing is, I have friends who are like that, who present
that lifestyle. Yeah, they live that lifestyle. Yeah,
that lifestyle,
right.
that I will be seen with from time to time, and I do not care.
As
I
you shouldn't.
know,
You shouldn't.
You mind your business and move on.
Yeah, right. Business, your business. And the reason I say that too, for the people out there, is that, guys, if you have a passion for doing hair, if you're a man and you have for some reason you have a passion, not for some reason, but it's not something you see every day. But let's say you have a passion for doing hair, do the hair. Don't worry about what nobody has to say. You do the hair. You could probably be the best hairdresser, whatever. You just happen to be a male. Same way, ladies, if there's a male-dominated field that you want to get into, just do it. Just because you don't know how far this thing is going to go. You understand? Just do it.
Kerby, I am curious about something. Curious, but I kind of know the answer. Let me ask you, what role does your faith and your spirituality plays in your success? What role would you say it plays in your success today?
I think for everyone, we need to have a supreme being or a higher source, because we know for a fact that we can't do it for ourselves. We know for a fact that we can't sometimes depend on the people that we love, the people who are there for us, because them too, they need somebody to lean on. So if I need to lean on you and you need to lean on, like, we had to be leaning on somebody that's bigger.
Right.
So
Right.
I subscribe. I've been my subscription is how many years now, boy? Since I was 10? Right. To Christianity, yes, I think that's when I got baptized.
Right.
And that has played a major role for me, because there are a lot of things that happen in my life, guys, that it has only been by the grace of God.
Right.
I could sit here and tell you of life experiences, the good, the bad, and the indifferent.
Right.
I'll share one with you now, which people would call a testimony. I was living here in Trinidad. I never had one job. I always had two. So I did marketing, the office job for a private school. And then in the evening, I would go work at the gas station and pump gas, right? So I have money for myself to pay my rent and to send home. That never should work out. That's besides the point. So I was doing a fundraiser to raise money to pay for my rent because I was behind in my rent. My church at the time, still my church, Faith Assembly, they were on their way to Colombia on a mission trip. So I'm going into church now with 2 bags of food to deliver to somebody in church. And as soon as I break the door, the pastor was like, "Hey, we trying to call you. Pack your bags, you're going with us to Colombia." And went through the door. I laughed and I went through the door, came back out, and he was like, "I'm very serious, young man. You have to go home, pack your bags. You're going to Colombia with us." I went from owing rent to going halfway across the world.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, give me a moment, just now.
Yes. Yes.
I just
We understand. This is heavy.
and
This
just
is heavy. Yeah.
check your volume levels as well to see if there's anything we could just touch on with the little
Yeah.
little
This is
feedback.
heavy stuff. This is a testimony.
So I was halfway around the world.
Right.
Now, why I think God allowed that to happen for me is that I met persons who didn't even have quarter of what I had in Trinidad.
Mm.
And one of the things that I used to do, I used to always try to buy a rituals, which used to be $40 at the end of the week. That is my
Yeah.
that's your reward.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
like a
Right.
little thing for yourself, like a little reward.
And then going to a country where you see people running through the streets with a mug with drink. It is the longest long water that you would ever drink in your life. But
What do you call it? Long water?
of huh?
What do you call it? Long water?
Long water. It's just water. You taste more water than you
Yeah.
taste the whatever flavor it is.
Oh, I'm not familiar with the term. I
Okay,
never heard
yeah.
it before.
No, but we call it like long water juice.
Right.
Right.
Anyways, and these people running with these things to say thank you for coming to preach to them and stuff like that. And for you to take that thing and the level of, because we stopped and we allowed them to give us that drink,
Yeah.
and we all drank it or whatever,
Yeah.
and being honest of how it tasted, but everybody still had that gratitude and wanted to drink
yeah.
from them. But it wasn't that you scorned them or anything like that. Please don't
Right.
misunderstand what I'm here.
No,
Right?
you're
I'm just
grateful.
telling you what they were offering us. It is something that we would deem that we can't give to anybody.
Right. But to them,
You
they
understand?
gave you. To them, they
But to
gave you
them,
everything.
but to them, they
Yes.
gave you everything. Yo, these people
Right.
Mhm.
church every day, not knowing what is going to happen. So when you see those people on the knees crying and praying,
Yeah.
that's because they're praying to the source.
Mm.
Faith.
So by experiencing things like that, and I would have gone on many other mission trips after, which I paid for after.
All right. All right. All right.
Yeah, that is. I think that really helped to open my mind to so that you may have a little, or you may think you have a little, but that little that you have in your hand could feed a lot.
Wonderful message.
I love
And I
Yeah.
think that is also one of the takeaways from that whole story of Jesus with the loaves of bread and fishes.
Love.
Yeah.
That's actually what I was thinking when you was talking. Huh?
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
You managed to have any mentors that you want to share with us? Who are they? You must have mentors.
Mhm.
So someone who was my mentor, but he didn't even know that he was my mentor, because I just used to listen to what this man would say, and like it would always sound like if he's speaking to me directly. That would be my late pastor KK Bechu.
Okay.
I sat under his ministry from the time I came to Trinidad up until this point. Well, he passed away quite a few years ago. He passed away as I was in Barbados. And to me, he's still, because like I think funerals bring closure, and because I didn't go to the funeral, I didn't see a body, in my mind he's alive or something.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
he passed away. He is my, to be honest, he has been the only one that has really been like a mentor to me. Because I see a mentor as somebody who basically not regurgitate what they say, but what they say has a very heavy weight on how you charter your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he could have been a mentor, but there are other people obviously who would have contributed to, who I am and
To the
how
yeah.
I think.
Mm. And
Go ahead. Go
go
ahead, Prezi.
no, at certain points I just want to stick a pin and just let people understand. We talk a lot about unemployment and maybe underemployment and stuff in Trinidad and Tobago, especially. I want y'all to witness that we have a Guyanese national that came. It was not a walk in the park, didn't have anything, and was able to persevere. And you understand, the biggest thing you said a lot, but something that really jumped out at me is you said you never had one job, you always had two, right? This is a Guyanese national with two jobs, two very night and day jobs. In the office one day, and then I pumping gas in the evening. You understand?
Right. No.
Ow.
No. Mhm.
I don't know what I want to do with it, but I just want people listening.
Let me help you.
Go ahead.
Let me help you. And that's where I was going. We often, I've referred students of mine to you to hear your story of entrepreneurship. And it's an opportunity for us to explain to people what it takes for somebody to migrate into your country and demonstrate a stronger desire to succeed at not just life and business, but in entrepreneurship. You, sir, are the poster boy in my mind, for want of a better term, of what a serial entrepreneur is. Other than fashion and design, could you just explain to us some of the related things that you're into as a business owner and what that part of the journey has been like?
Okay. So I'm going to tell you everything that I do, that I'm paid to do, and how I actually got into them. So
Right.
started coming to Trinidad. We came to Trinidad as a fashion designer. Then I met a photographer. No, hold on. Came to Trinidad, met a makeup artist first, whose name is Ed Johnson, and fell in love with the artistry of makeup. I'm thinking, something that I could do. But again, funds, right?
Yes.
Don't have it. But lock away in my mind. It's like, okay, when I get money, I guess I'm going to try and see what I could do with that or whatever the case is.
Right.
Edmond taught me a few things. And then I got better at makeup. Then I met a photographer, Eustace Dyer. And sometimes in doing the photography, I would like see shots and see ways in which he can photograph this person. And it may not necessarily be his aesthetic. So I wouldn't say, well, hey, you just turn the camera this way or that way or whatever the case is.
Right.
So I'm like, lock that away in my mind as well. So years would have passed. I started to do makeup professionally. I started to do photography professionally, which I still do.
Right.
I would have moved to Barbados to live with my father. My father came back into my life in primary school, and we have had that. We used to talk, but not often, kind of a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got older, then we started to speak a little bit more frequent and stuff like that. So I wanted to go there and get to know him some more. And he would get to know me and stuff like that. So I moved to Barbados. When I got to Barbados, obviously I need to find a job, right?
Right.
I know people hiring me as no fashion designer or makeup artist or photographer or stuff like that. Again, back in those days, there isn't TikTok, there isn't stuff like that. So there's no big promotion that is really pushed.
Push yourself out there, yeah.
You have to establish yourself. Now, I'm not going to go to anybody's country ever and sit down. Now, even though I am by my dad and I could get food and all these different things from him, I still, at that time, I still had I have my daughter. So I need to provide for myself. I have my now wife, who was then my girlfriend, who was back home. I had to find money.
Yeah.
I went looking for a job. I started to work at PriceSmart. Then I went over to Cost You Less when Cost You Less first opened. And while there was a cashier, the photographer and the fashion designer cash in. Yeah? Right. Then that's it. So we cash in, ting. So they started to do digital cakes, like cakes that would have like a print on it, like a Batman, a Superman.
Right.
The things that you would buy.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And do a very horrible job in the editing of the images and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm a photographer, I could help you to ting or whatever. It's like, okay, let me see what you can do. Of course, sales went up. So there's like, okay, cool. You need to move to the bakery department. However, you have to learn how to be. I'm like, that's not making sense. Like, let me just I could help you out make real money. Just keep doing the digital prints and stuff like that. We could push that off. They're like, no. If you're in bakery, you have to come over and do everything. You have to learn how to bake, learn how to sing. So that's how my cake journey started.
It's going on the list.
And then that was it, right? Yeah, so those are the things I do now.
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
So it's fashion designing, makeup, cakes, and photography.
But your digital magazine.
And my digital magazine. So how that came about, when I did the magazine, there was a period where I was trying to get myself known in Trinidad and Tobago and across the region. And I'm like, okay, magazines are the way that, you can cross international borders.
Yes.
And I reached out to most of the regional and local magazines. And they replied to me saying, well, we could feature you, however, it comes at a cost because they're just trying to fill the pages. So all the things I submitted, I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, you know what? I think I want to start my own magazine, but again, I don't have money. So what did I do? I locked that away in my head. After I realized that digital magazines were a thing, and then I started doing that. Now, everything that I'm telling you that I do, when I first started doing it, I didn't start it with the knowledge of what it is exactly and how much it would really take.
Right.
So the beginning of everything for me, looked bad.
Mm.
Humble
Now
beginnings.
that I look at it, it looked bad
No.
because I'm now measuring it to the standards that I have now.
No, yeah.
No.
However, when I put those things out, there was a level. Remember, we talk about something that is inside of you that needs to be released.
Yes.
Every time I hit post or share or send, I felt like a part of me just gets lighter and I release something into the atmosphere.
Right.
Now it came with a lot of blows. I have a lot of marks and bruise to show
Right.
because it licks like peas. It still licks still happen. It's just that my
But they
shoulders
go
get a
stop
bit
broader, right? Yep.
because the skin heals back, and you know when skin heals back, it just get tougher.
Yes.
So now the lash isn't penetrating like before.
Right.
Yeah. So
Love that.
yeah, and that's how the magazine came about. What I wanted to do was to create a platform, a digital platform that creators like myself who don't have the funds, the finances, even the know it all as to how to get myself out there. I want to use the magazine, and that's what I use the magazine to do.
Right.
No, the magazine it doesn't come out as often as I would like it to because it is a lot to manage.
Yeah.
Right. Of course.
Yes, I'm going to hear it because I've heard it before from people who I trust and love and appreciate and everything like that, and feels the same about me. You know, just sell ads and hire people and do this and do that or whatever the case is. But the thing is, when you have something that you're passionate about and you want it done a particular way, I
Yeah.
have tried so many times to allow people to come in and be a part of let's do this together, do that or whatever. And it always comes down to them doing it because it's now the deadline, as opposed to you having the passion and the zeal. Now everybody in the beginning is coming. It is be like when you see that girl and you're like, oh, she nice boy.
Mm-hmm.
You go and you start to talk to the girl and it's all butterflies and everything she say, just laugh and she's going, and you find that cute.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, the girl laughing and she's snorting, and
Oh
that
my.
is
Oh my. Oh
It
my.
ain't
Oh
cute no
my.
more.
you can't this, you can't that.
It will never work. It will never work.
Because you
Everything
came
is a
in on
joke
a
for you.
surface, you came in on a surface level. You came in like it. You see that okay, this magazine is being posted, it's being shared, it's getting the forward, it's the whatever.
Yes.
But there's a lot that goes into these things, and I know for a fact that once the Lord gives me the time on earth, that KYD magazine is going to become one of the well-known magazines, not for just the content that is going to hold, but for the opportunities that I wanted to create for other creatives, primarily around the Caribbean, but then the world at large.
Right.
I love that.
That makes sense.
I love that.
That makes sense. But now I'm a little not confused, but I'm a little perplexed because I'm wondering if it is more about resilience than it is about being the tenacity, being tenacious, being that type of person that is not going to take no for an answer and put your best foot forward and go out there. Which is it?
Well, it's both, it's both.
I think so. I think it's
A lot of
You're
people you
still
would
taking
hear,
licks.
a lot of people you would hear say that in their life when they're giving all these successful speeches, when they get an award or whatever, they would say that they heard a lot of no's more than they would have heard, right? That is very true. When I hear a no, of course, I'm a human being. I feel bad. Depending on the reason for the no, that depends how I feel. And I allow myself to feel those feelings because, again, I'm human. And if I don't allow myself to feel those feelings, then we have it pent up. And you know how that is end, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I allow myself to feel that feeling. And especially if it's a case whereby I feel or know for a fact that I was victimized for whatever reason, I put it here, I lock it away, and I'm like, okay, I have to help fix this, whether with me and by extension with people who come after me. And in the beginning, I was a very, what is that word, boy? When you procrastinate. I used to procrastinate a lot. And what alarmed me to that is that I had a friend who called me and like, hey, Kerby, I'm just calling you to let you know that I can't be your friend anymore. We can't line and thing like before. So I'm like, why? She was like, because Kerby, since I met you, you have told me about all these great things that you want to do and all these countries that you want to go to and stuff like that and all these things. And I'm not really seeing you doing anything to get that. So I don't want people with that type of energy around me because I'm the type of person. And she was that person who, if she says, this girl called me a day, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. She's like, come, let me go in the mall. I'm going and pierce my tongue. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I wake up this morning and I just think, you know what? What if you pierce your tongue? And she's like that person. And she would just go and she would do it. Later learned about 2 years in that she had cancer and that she was actually dying.
Tell myself so.
And that is why she was doing everything.
Yeah.
Because when I tell you this girl was spontaneous, when she picked me up, I don't know what was going to happen. End of her trouble. Like, God rest her soul.
God rest her soul, man.
I used to procrastinate a lot. But then when I met my wife, she started to be like, so you told me last week that you're doing this, what happened with that? Oh, I didn't get to do it because when I do it later, she's like, no, you had to try and do it now. You can't be making all these plans and then doing nothing. That don't make any sense.
You need that.
And she brought that level of checking on me because other people, again, because it wasn't seen as something that could be sustainable, something that could really take you places. Right. They saw it as this is your little thing on the side. This is your hobby. This is your quote unquote talent, the thing that you like to do. I could even recall a time going back home and an uncle of mine asked me, "You're still doing the designing thing?"
Yeah.
Designing thing, yeah.
Put some respect on your name.
I'm like, yeah.
Well, he can't say that now. He can't say that now, but
right.
Yeah. So when she started checking on me, I think that helped me to know that, okay, there is somebody there somebody who is physically in front of me that's going to come in front of my face and long up their face to tell me, you didn't do what you're supposed to do. So that helped. So it's the resilience, yes, it's the hearing the no's and the whatever, and just kind of pushing yourself. And like, again, I keep feeling on the inside, the feeling is getting less, which is scary, but at the same time exciting that there is something more that I have to do.
Right.
Right? Like as I do these things, as I went when I journeyed to Tanzania, when I went the first time, it felt like, oh wow. When I went the second time, it was like, I'm supposed to be here. I now know what I have to do. I now know how to navigate around Tanzania and stuff like that.
Home, yeah.
So I just see my whole life, guys, as a journey, a map that God is He is the author and the finisher of everything that comes in my life. And it's just exciting for me to see how He does things. It is crazy. The people, the rooms that He has placed me in, the people that He has allowed me to meet, it's crazy. I mean, look, I'm here now talking to a guy that I saw sitting down next to me on an airplane. Turned out to be landing.
I'm a friendly person, you know, and you know, it was an experience, and then it's not really a short flight, but it's a short flight. I mean. What was the hit?
But Kerby, how would you encourage the next Kerby Young? And when I say the next Kerby Young, that person, I always think of that veritable person in the comments here, or just watching. This is gonna be on YouTube at some point. That next person coming up, that going through all these steps you kind of walked us through. How would you encourage that person? Because I do imagine that you had that person push say to give that encouragement. So how would you encourage that person?
I always tell people to believe in yourself and never give up on your dream. I would encourage parents because it doesn't necessarily start with the person itself. It kind of starts with your parents. Um, Stop giving your child all this screen time. Like trying to program your child to be a particular thing. Yes, I understand because I'm a parent myself. To hand them that tablet or that laptop or whatever it is you're giving to them, and they could just shut up for you to do what you have to do, is heavenly. It is.
It is.
You have to ask yourself at what cost. Our children today growing up given the opportunity to dream, given the opportunity to use their imagination. I can remember as a child, in front of our houses, they would have drain, what we would call a gutter, right? I don't know if that's, do you all call that here?
Yeah,
The drain, the
gutter,
big drain,
drain
the
there,
yeah.
the ravine.
So, because this is the number one source of draining any wastewater, not the one that comes from your toilet, but any other wastewater that
run off.
out of your house, it will always have current, so it's always running in a direction. We would go and look for the cleanest part of the gutter, cleanest part of the dirty drain water, to take a leaf and put it in and say, this is our boat. You name boat. Your boat have a captain, and you are running down the stream with this leaf. Everybody have the same leaf, but you can identify your leaf. Huh? You know your leaf, even though all the leaves do, and then that's my leaf, because you know your leaf, right? And that level of imagination, which I think allows and sparks creativity, I think it is slowly going away. I don't want to say that it's gone, because I know that there are other parents like myself who would try to still, tell them go in the backyard and play, go and dig up something or something. Make the rocks talk, something. I don't know. Allow your child to have that creative imagination. Pay attention to your child. If your child is creative in certain things, it would look like crap in the beginning. Trust and believe. A lot of the things that look like if it had a stroke and it all twists up, turn up, all how. But just continue to believe in that child and push that child. I think as a parent, when you find your child's talent, you need to foster it, you need to support it. Yes, they need to have academics and stuff like that. But I always, one of the things that you would have learned from COVID is that the four walls, office space and workspace, shut down. And what did people turn to? Selling stuff, creating things and selling it on social media, on same TikTok here, all these different things. Creativity had to kick back in. So you need to foster that as a parent from small. If that didn't happen, and you still have that desire in you, you have to do the little things and celebrate your little wins. My first fashion show that I had, I was more excited about having a fashion show as opposed to knowing again the ins and the outs. Why am I starting my fashion show 5 something in the afternoon? The sun goes down by 6. I have absolutely no lighting whatsoever. on my runway in an outdoor event. People had to drive in the cars, turn the car lights on, and shine it onto the runway.
Oh, like a rave.
Yeah.
Oh, nice one. Nice.
But the thing is, again, do what you have to do. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't have people believing in you.
That's true.
First, believe that, hey, this is something that I believe that God has blessed me with, and this is something that I think He wants me to share with people. This is something that that's gonna be good for me and makes me feel good and stuff like that. And especially if it's something that doesn't bring any harm or disrespect to anyone in any way. Yeah. Push forward.
Right.
Have to do celebrate your wins.
Yeah.
And just continue to push. Education is the key to success. You would have heard that so many times, and I would say that it is so. I don't have a degree or a diploma in anything that I do professionally, but I have the knowledge. So I still had to read. I still had to go to the University of YouTube and things. I still had people who I would have worked with or collaborated with that would have showed me things. So education is still important. You have the thing, still try to get the education. And the most important thing is don't allow money to be the big
That's
X.
important. That you see that right there? That is important.
I could recall even when I was married, when I first got married, not was married, when I first was married, my wife and I, we would sit down and we would discuss everything that I want for KYD, which is happening now. Is 10 years after. Think about that as well, right? Because some people want to become successful tomorrow when they started. For very, very, very few, it happens. And when you even research those very, very, very few, is because of a link, right? But that is that. So, what was I talking about again? The
success and
that's the encouragement and the success.
Yeah, mentoring others.
But I love that. Don't make money the center of.
the money part, right?
The money will come.
Yeah, the money will come. When I was saying to myself, I need to find someone. Just when I was first got married, we would say we need to find somebody who could invest in our business. And what my business is now, this is what we were envisioning. And there was nobody. So guess who invested in me? I invested in me. You have to invest in yourself. Yes, you want it to be this big thing. This is the end goal, but you have to start small. When I came back to Trinidad and I started doing cakes, I used to have to borrow cake pans from my friend who used to bake. I used to think, and then when I make the cake and I get my money, I buy a cake pan. Where I am now, looking at my space. Actually, let me show you guys this. Let me see if you switch camera on this.
The studio. There's a reverse. Yeah, there's a reverse.
But down in the left hand corner. The first icon in your left hand corner. See it?
What screen you're looking at?
Lower left hand corner.
Okay, so you're on the wrong screen. Go to. There's a second screen after this one with the camera.
Like screen.
No, it's not that. Anyways, never mind. I will turn around.
Yeah.
Right.
You see this wall?
Right.
This wall is a wall that I have of all my achievements that I have so far. For different reasons. Of course, there's more, but it's for significance and stuff like that. For example, this would have been my first collection at Swahili Fashion Week.
Right.
This would have been the collection that I would have done during COVID when there was lockdown. And one of the reasons I did this collection again was for my fellow creatives who were locked up and didn't have an outlet. A lot of creatives need to go outside to be inspired or to let whatever creativity out and stuff like that. So this collection, as much as it was business related because we had to make money, we had to eat, it was mainly for that. Then this would have been last year, Swahili Fashion Week. I keep my ticket stubs and all these different things. This is one of the first artists that I started working with here in Trinidad and Tobago, a jazz artist, Bree Celestin. This is stuff from when I lived in Guyana. This is my first magazine cover. Remember, I told you I submitted a lot of photos and stuff like that to magazines?
Yes.
And nobody replied. Zing never replied either. But then a friend called me and was like, hey, you turned big shot, you're on cover of magazine. Now again, I did not think that this photo is magazine cover worthy. This photo was just a photo that I submitted to let them know who I am and what I can do. And then if I was selected and they were going to do a feature, then I would have curated something specially for that. But it also goes to show that sometimes you see your work as less than, and to others it's far beyond. Because if you could take this that I submitted, this photo that I submitted as just for my bio, you put it on your cover and was seen by probably thousands, if millions. I don't know how many persons were on that thing. That you supplied Liat in those years. That was 2017.
Right.
Everyone saw that.
Were you properly credited for that?
I was. I have a whole story and everything about myself.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And everything like that. So was well credited. So that, and then this was from the first Swahili Fashion Week trip when we had the press conference, the collection, the newspaper articles and stuff like that. And opposite that is my chair and table. It's nasty.
It's busy.
When I look up at that, remember I was saying celebrate your small wins?
Yeah.
When I look up at that whenever I'm having a tough day, whether it be clients not understanding what I'm saying, or I have a client who's upset about something and things like that, I look at that wall and allow that to soak in. That listen, you didn't come this far easily. You had to go through the fire, you had to go through the flood, it has been drama, bacchanal, all these different things. But look at all these things that you were still able to achieve.
Yeah.
So for that person, again, that line, believe in yourself and never give up on your dream. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Be consistent. Celebrate your small wins. If you're a designer and don't have money, you can design one collection.
I know that time-wise is almost time for us. Well, it's time for us to start to wind down. Yeah. I want to ask Prezi if there were any questions he had, because I have a couple of questions for you for short answers, like very rapid fire. All right. So, my friend, it's not really the hot seat, eh? Don't go and run away. You see, stop right there. You have your first fashion show, or not even your first fashion show. You're featured in a fashion show now. Your work is out there. Models are walking the runway in your outfits, in your designs. What are the people in the audience thinking? What do you think they're thinking? Short answers. What do you think the audience thinking?
This is colorful. This is refreshing. This is relaxing. Because those are things that people actually say to me. A designer that I met last year, I know it's rapid fire and it's supposed to be a short answer, but there's a designer I met last year at Origins, and she was like, "You're the designer that had the colorful clothing." I'm like, yeah. She's like, "Oh my God, your collection made me feel so happy." And I'm like, okay, you didn't like the cotton thing, it just made you feel happy. Right? So I think that is what people get from me. That's what people get from KYD. Yeah.
Right. Where can people actually buy your work? see more of your designs and actually listen, I want this design, I want that, I want to buy this. Actually make a transaction happen.
Okay, so you can follow me on social media, Kerby Young Designs, which is on Instagram and Facebook. Now, I know the young people are on Instagram and as they call us, the old people on Facebook, but same names. You contact me there, you'll see stuff there. I have my website that is currently being updated. That's another piece of work. And you'll get to purchase stuff there. We're getting ready to release some things on that website. But follow the social media pages and you'll get more information there. I don't want you to go there and then be like, yeah, but he had nothing here for me. Hold on, oh God, come in. Relax.
Right.
It's a
That's
thing for everybody. It's a
Kerby.
thing for everybody.
Kerby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kerby
Young.
Designs. KYD. Yeah, once you put KYD or you Google my name, Kerby Young, everything about me is there and you can read away, click away, and shop away.
Good,
Right.
good.
Egg ball or doubles? Slight? Everything. Slight pepper, everything is slight pepper.
Partner.
No. Let me do my thing. I ask you.
No. Just
Next thing you're gonna ask me is chicken curry or curry chicken.
That was coming.
No. I wasn't going. You see,
That was coming. That's what's coming.
but since you said it, you can go ahead and answer that too. Since you said it, you can answer that too. But egg ball or
Let me make a laugh of myself here now. To the love of all things outward, I don't know what I say. I don't know if I say chicken curry or curry chicken. And like even as I say them, they both sound correct. So I don't know which one is the right one.
But
You
you
could
just
pat
say
your
whatever.
head until your hair try to grow back. It never grow back.
my braid scratching. What is it telling me?
Scratch you. And when it comes to egg ball and doubles, I would honestly go for doubles. I would honestly go for doubles more than egg ball.
That's what we talk.
I wouldn't tell you what is. I wouldn't tell you what should have been your other option. Do some more research, and then you would have had a fight.
Sahina, kachori. No. Hold on. Pepper pot or pilau with coleslaw.
Nah, boy, that's a hard one, boy.
Pepper pot or pilau with coleslaw, sir.
Pepper pot.
Pilau
We will take that. We will take that.
You could put. You could put salmon. You could put whatever you want in it. My pepper pot.
Pepper pot.
Somebody asked if kiss cake.
Kiss cake or pint tart.
Somebody asked or pint tart.
What tart?
Pint tart.
Kiss cake or pint tart.
Pint tart.
He's from Guyana, guys.
Right.
You know.
Pint tart.
What
He does live in Trinidad and Tobago.
What should every What should every Trini do on their first trip to Guyana? Trying to encourage people to travel, see the Caribbean, see South America. What is one thing every Trini should do when they get to Guyana? You gotta look outside to see the people.
No. Is the rain started? So I wanted to make sure the window was
right.
We had some high winds last night.
I would encourage people to go to Guyana. So, like any other Caribbean destination, Guyana is a gem, and Guyana has so much to offer. If you are into like hiking and nature and stuff like that, you're going to see it as a paradise. If you are not into those things and you still go, it is going to make you feel so relaxed. The culture in Guyana, the people in Guyana are loving, just as each country has its dialect. if you should go in like the border markets or any of the markets within Guyana, the Stabrook market, because you want to take a picture of the Stabrook market. If you go there and you just sit down and you listen to Guyanese people have a conversation, I think that in itself sells Guyana. If food is, I wouldn't say that it is better than Trinidad. I would say that there are some interesting flavors that you guys would not think of, or some interesting things that we do that you don't do, that is going to send off fireworks in your head when it comes to cuisine.
Right.
When it comes to the performing and the creative arts, again, we have it locked. Guyana is a place that you have. People think that when you go to Guyana, you just need to go to the Kaieteur Falls, but there is so much that you can do. There are even bikes that you can ride around Georgetown and get to see all the fantastic buildings that we have. We have the tallest wooden building, which is the George's Cathedral.
My dream is
there is so much.
My dream is to do a live show from Guyana one day. I gotta make that happen.
On the back of a horse-drawn carriage.
So the person to put you on to that is going to take you around, because that is what her business is about, taking people around Guyana and really showing them, showing them the country.
Okay.
I like to take people around. We take a boat ride and we knock about.
Yeah, let me go over there and see
some
what's going on.
friends
Let me
here.
see what Guyana talking about. You all know Guyana have a special place in my heart because Guyanese people make me laugh.
Actually, I don't know if you guys were following when Junior Lee went to Guyana. He went for some comedy something.
Show, yeah.
And he was walking through the market. The girl that was with him, that's the same thing I'm talking about. So you see, just as I said, I'm now thinking that too. If you go into the market of Guyana, then you sit down and you just talk to anybody. And the thing is, people are so friendly, people are so loving.
Yeah.
They will talk to you. Don't be like, oh, what's going on? Nothing like that. They talk to you normal. You'll enjoy it.
If Guyanese people in Guyana are anything like the Guyanese people I have encountered in Brooklyn, I'll tell you one time, if they offer you juice, don't fall for it. If they say, drink a juice, don't fall for it. It's not juice. It's liquor. They'll get you drunk. And then they go laugh at you.
Gazoo.
And then they go
and they will laugh at you.
Right.
Big up all my Guyanese friend near and far. Right?
I realize it's noon. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, while we are Kerby here, I would love to hear his good vibes of the day, although he gave me a good one here, which is celebrate your small wins. I actually put it on my whiteboard here because a lot of what he said, it resonates with me and the President Resi Morning Show. I would have went through, and I'm currently going through a lot of these steps and stuff that you detailed. I do have that burning desire. I have stuff to, set forth into the world. And, just, if it didn't inspire anybody, it inspired me today. So we usually end off with something we call, the positive vibes of the day. How would you, it's just a saying, a quote, just to give people a positive vibe as we leave. What would your positive vibe of the day be?
Believe in yourself and never give up on your dreams. There is so much weight to that statement. That is my motto. That's what I tell people every time we have like conversations like these or interviews or like that. Because it's all about what is up here. If you believe it, if you can think it, you can make it happen. Yes, you're gonna run into brick walls. You're gonna hear a lot of people say no. But the thing is, and to be honest, you can't be upset with some people when they say no. They could only say it based on what they know, how you would have pitched yourself or whatever the case is, and where they are in that moment. So you have to give them their thing too, but you have to continue pushing. You have to keep going. You have to be persistent. Don't give up. Nothing in life comes easy. Nothing. Even to the people that you see that receive things like that, oh, they win a whole whatever, and the whole life change. if you really get down to the back end of it when all the cameras are turned off and there's no producer, there's no script, there's a lot that goes into those things.
Yes.
So do the little you have and make it into something big. You chart your own course. Don't allow people to dictate your speed. Dictate your speed with reasoning, of course. Don't.
I love that. Let me see, Alonzo. Alonzo been quiet. Alonzo, with your positive vibes of the day. Morning. Yes. Yeah. A lot of lemonade. Cool. Yeah. KK with the AK. What's your positive vibes of the day?
Hi, Mr. Kerby. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Your story was very, very inspirational, at least to me. It was very, very inspirational. So, my positive vibes of the day is success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. So, whatever you are doing, do it with love, do it with passion, and you will be successful.
Well, sure enough, today because Kirby here. All right. All right. All right. I stealing Kirby on as my thing. Celebrate your small wins. That you don't even understand what that just did to me there. Celebrate your small wins. You understand? Like with respect to the show, I think my small win would be the fact that we going, strong for the past 6 months despite all the, you know, all the
Trials.
hurdles, all the trials, all the hurdles, all the distractions. We've been going strong for 6 months and we've managed to have interview after interview, inspirational stuff that we could put out there for years to come that people could come and look at this interview and say, hey, you know what? I identify with this person. And also to kind of showcase people that probably wouldn't know or haven't learned about this person yet. So that would be my positive vibe of the day. All right, now I'll give myself a clap because, but now, could you go laugh at this part? Hear ye, hear ye.
You see that? You see that?
The
Hear
honorable,
ye, hear ye.
the honorable
See that,
Sensei.
Kirby?
This is his segment,
They
so
want me to talk,
we just had to
but
big him up.
they want me to talk, but it has so much condescension in behind that. I think that, they're so wicked. They're so wicked. Listen, the laughter of a friend is worth more than the applause of strangers. Or you put that in your pipe and smoke.
Wow.
But I if I
Wow.
That's it, the wrong one.
Wow.
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 The man showing off, boy. Would he be called Kirby here? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Well, Kirby, again, thank you for coming through with this. This was a long time coming.
Thanks, brother.
This one was a
Yes,
long time
thank
coming.
you.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Definitely up there with one of our best interviews thus far.
Yeah.
And anytime you don't be a stranger. When somebody come here, we consider your family. If you have a new
Show coming up.
anything you need to promote, come and tell us about it. Same way in the same format, come and sit down and tell us about it. Tell us where to find tickets. Tell us anything you have going on. Just come and don't be a stranger. You already know that. Sharon, morning. Right? So again, thank you very much. And guys, this has been another edition and another great interview on the best morning show for the past 6 months. Anywhere. President Crazy Morning Show. All
Thanks
right,
so
we
much,
love you
Kerby.
guys.
Thank you,
Kirby
Mr.
again.
Kerby.
Sharon, you
Okay.
come late. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, all right?
Bye, guys.
Bye.